Had this spot in Vancouver in the 40s and ran it until the late 70s. They tore it down, and like all black neighborhoods, they had a reason. They found one. Tear it down and just got everybody out. It was in the area known as Hogan's Alley. So this is how it was. From the corner of Main to the alley on Union. That's where you would find the spot. Let me tell you, Vi's Chicken and Steaks was pretty hot. Ooh, my grandma owned the joint and ran it first class too. T-bones, porterhouse, filet mignons, and a half a chicken was the meat on the menu. Biscuits that were homemade, baked fresh every day, melt in your mouth and sold out quick because grandma didn't play. That's right. She served it with mushrooms, onions, salad, peas, and fries. And that was the complete menu when you came to Vi's. The hours were 5 at night to 5 a.m. But after midnight was always strong. There was no liquor license, so the folks bought their own along. My grandma supplied the ice and the mix and would always take a minute and sip to have her a drink or two. Yeah. The cabbies would come in off the street. The cops would come in after they beat. And the entertainers back then, when they came to town, would walk through her doors because grandma didn't mess around. Ella Fitzgerald, Duke Ellington, Cab Calloway, ooh, Diana Ross and the Supremes, Billie Holiday, Sammy Davis, Vi's Chicken and Steaks was a hot part of that night scene. You hear me? And there was a time when Jimi Hendrix's grandmama worked for mine. Yeah! Now I remember Rosie, the dishwasher, and my mom and Leah would waitress. Everybody was friends. My grandma hired only women, even way back then. And the laughter would be jumping all night long up out of that place. First class dining at Vi's Chicken and Steaks. Ooh, thank you.
So, I need you to say yes, officer, every time I speak to you. Okay. Good evening, all.
Yes, officer.
I've been watching you.
Yes, officer.
Been here long.
Yes, officer.
Loitering, are we?
Yes, officer.
Not hot enough for you.
Yes, officer.
Been to the jungle bar, have you?
Yes, officer.
Drunk on jungle juice, are you?
Yes, officer.
Bloody coonies only knew.
Yes, officer.
What are you looking at?
Yes, officer.
Empty those pockets now.
Yes, officer.
That's property of Vancouver Airport.
Yes, officer.
Okay, that's property of Vancouver Airport.
Yes, officer.
Got a name, have ya?
Yes, officer.
Got papers, have ya?
Yes, officer.
Can I see them?
Yes, officer.
That's assault.
Yes, officer.
You're under arrest.
Yes, officer.
Thank you.
I will not be a slave to this skin. No, I will not be a slave to this skin. Won't let those biases fill up my pores one by one by one, then cover my flesh in the color of ignorance. Cover my flesh, cover my blood, cover my life, cover my God in the color of ignorance. No, I will not be a slave to this skin. I will not be held captive in a flash by one who connects eye to skin to mind and projects differences of deeper kinds. No, these visions are sick. These moments are infected. Moments infected by years of misinterpretation. Moments infected by decades of miseducation. Lifetimes of misguided action. Histories of discrimination. These visions are sick. Mental virus is born of the outside, but penetrating the inside. And once inside, they tug, they pull, they tear, they shatter, they dig, they drill, they smash, they anchor deep into the core, taking power away into the hands of melanin. Crowned in pigment, the queen of my identity. Crowned in pigment, the king of my destiny. No, I will not be a slave to this skin. I cannot be a slave to this skin because I am not a slave to this skin. To the constructs, to the illusions of a divider which mistake my tint and my tone for tokens of tainted worth, I will not be a slave to this skin. But rather, I will be a vessel of the blood and values that lie beneath it. After such an angry poem, I like to keep it a little bit more upbeat. Of course. Okay, so this next piece, well, as was said, I work with youth, and so I'm usually inspired by youth and inspired by the idea that, you know, they just have so many more days ahead of them, and there's so many possibilities. And they remind me that a new day really is an opportunity for us to kind of create our own lives, you know? And even though tomorrow isn't guaranteed, it's just important to remember that when we are blessed with a new day, we should think of it as a blank slate. So that sentiment is captured in this poem that I have right here. You didn't see that one coming, did you? Okay. Fresh, crisp, bare, untouched, and dangling from 1,000 threads of possibility. The thought of a new day makes me want to roll up my sleeves and get my hands dirty in the process of making all sorts of magic, like the kind stuffed in the breathing space of this very moment. There's something so sweet about the stretches of I cans or I could spread out so openly on the paths of the future. Its walkways like clean, clear, uncluttered, waiting so calmly to be taken over and covered in the colors of our capabilities. Your right this very second right now here bumps directly into and pushes along your very next right this very second right now here. A series of these make up a train of new beginnings leading to tomorrow and the next day and the next. Raw new canvases mounted on solid frames of potential. Your tomorrow is perfect. Ripe opportunity peeled open from the skin of a new dawn, of a new now. This is your blank slate, and it will transform into what you make it, like the craft of a kid whose mind knows no bounds and whose fingers become the resting place of these Play-Doh possibilities. And like that, you structure your world. When you gather your tools and leave a mark, when you sink into the palettes around, dipping in and out of your options. When you take a step forward and stand fearless in the face of the future, your court, your playground, your stage, in the face of the future you own. Take this blank slate and splash. Get in there, get messy. You are the artist and your life's a massive canvas measured not in square feet, but in years. 10 by 10 for some, 8 by 8 for others, 100 years to mold, 64 years to design. No matter the number, we are the masters. We are the masters of our pieces, masterpieces in the making. So moment by moment, day by day, stroke by stroke, splash away, let the colors collide, mixing, converging, syncing, creating your now, creating your life.